Someone from your past is returning. Okay? This is urgent. And the fact that you came across this video in one in a million occurrence. So listen carefully. I need to tell you something, and I need you to just receive it before your mind start arguing with it. Your guardian angel sends me to you today. I know how it sounds, and actually, I don't care how it sounds. I felt it so clearly to keep it to myself, and the message is short and it's specific, and it's this. Someone from your past is coming back. Not a stranger, not somebody new dressed up to look familiar. Someone you already know, someone who used to be in your life and left a space when they went. A space you have never quite been able to fill with anything else, no matter what you put there instead. That person coming back. Stay with me because before this is over, I'm going to tell you why. Why now? Why it's taking the shape it's taking. And this is the part that matters most. Why the version of you they're coming back to is not the version they left. That last part changes everything about how this goes. So it didn't leave yet. You decided it's finished. You built a whole story around that. That chapter's closed. I move on. If it was meant to happen, would have happened already. And some days you even believe that story. But other days, quieter days, the ones nobody sees, you still think about them. Not obsessively, just a surface. A song does it, a smell does it, a stranger with the same laugh does it. And every time it happens, you feel a little embarrassed, like you're not supposed to still be thinking about someone who's supposedly in your past. Let me tell you something that's going to relieve you immediately. An ending you keep thinking about isn't an ending. It's pause with no date on it. Real endings go quite fast. They fade like anything unimportant fades. The fact that this one hasn't faded after all this time, after everything else that's happened since, that's not your failing to move on. That's information. That's your own spirit telling you something your mind hasn't caught up to yet. And I want to say this clearly because it matters. This isn't about being incapable of letting go. You let plenty of things go in your life. You release people, jobs, version of yourself, entire chapters, and you did it cleanly without looking back because they were actually finished. You know what finish feels like. This isn't that. This one kept a thread attached the whole time, keen as it's been, and you felt that thread tug at you in quiet moments for longer than you told anyone. That's not weakness. That's your own knowing, working quietly in the background, refusing to file this under done because it genuinely isn't done yet. Now, let me give you the picture because it's the one I saw the whole time I was praying about this and it explains everything. Think about the ocean at low tide. You stood on a beach and watched the water pull back, right? It goes out so far sometimes that people start walking on ground that was underwater that morning. And if you didn't know better, if you'd never seen a tide before in your life, You might actually believe that ocean was leaving, gone, not coming back. The horizon just swallowed it, and that's that. But anyone who stood on the same beach long enough knows the truth. The ocean never left. It just went out to where you couldn't see it anymore. And that going out was never the end of the story. It was the middle of the story because a tide that goes out that far always comes back in. That's not hope. That's not wishful thinking. That's just what tides do. It's physics, it's rhythm, it's older than any of us, and it has never once failed to keep its own pattern. And here was a detail that made me stop when I first saw the picture. So want to give it to you exactly as it's saying. A tide doesn't need permission to come back. It doesn't ask if the shore is ready. It doesn't check whether the shore has been good or has waited politely or has proven itself worthy of the water's return. It just comes back because that is the nature of tides, and nothing about that nature ever changed while it was out. Whatever this person told you the first time, whatever it was actually was, whatever name you'd give it, that pool was never a decision either of you made. It was more like gravity than choice. And gravity doesn't stop being true just because two people spend a while standing far apart. That's this person. That's exactly what's happening with them. They didn't disappear from your life. They went out. Maybe it looked like an ending from where you were standing on the sand, watching the water get smaller and smaller on the horizon. But the whole time underneath everything, the pull that brought them close to you in the first place never actually stopped pulling. It just changed direction for a season. And now, and this is the word I was given. This is the specific thing. The season's turning. The tide is coming back in. Now, who is this person? I can see your life. So let me lay out a few and let your own chest tell you which one is true. For some of you, it's someone you loved. Not a small thing, a real one. The kind that shaped how you see love itself. Whether it ended in a fight or just in silence, in distance that crept in one quiet week at a time until you looked up and it had been months. For some of you, it's a friend, and this is the one people forget can even apply, but it hits just as hard. A friendship that used to feel like family, that drifted for reasons neither of you could really name, and you missed them in a way that felt almost silly to admit out loud because it was just a friend. For some of you, it's someone connected to family, an old bond that time and circumstance pulled sideways. Someone you used to sit across a table from without effort, and now there's an awkwardness where there used to be none. And for a few of you, it's someone you can't fully explain. Someone who touched your life briefly but left something behind that never left you. A feeling more than a relationship. Unfinished in a way you never told anyone about because there's nothing concrete to point to. Whichever one just made your chest do something, that's the one. You know. Hold them in your mind. We're not done yet with them. And notice something about the way you've been carrying them. Because it's the same regardless of which one it is. You don't think about them constantly. I know that. Weeks go by clean. And then out of nowhere, in the middle of an ordinary day, they arrive uninvited, fully formed, like they never really left the room. That specific pattern, long stretches of nothing followed by a sudden, vivid returns of them. That's not a haunting, that's a tide pattern. Water doesn't stay at the shore constantly either. It goes out, it stays out for a while. And then right on schedule, it comes rushing back in, stronger than you expected. The rhythm you've been feeling with this person is the same rhythm the ocean has been running since before either of you were born. Now let's go to the part underneath because there is a wound here and I want to be genuine with it. You've been quietly ashamed of missing them. That's the truth of it, isn't it? You think you should be over it by now. You compare yourself to someone imaginary version of a person who processes things faster, who doesn't get caught off guard by a song in a grocery store, who doesn't reread old messages at midnight and then feel stupid about it. You've told yourself that still caring means you're stuck, that it means something wrong with your healing. Some of you have gone further than that. You wondered if maybe you're the only one who ever really felt it. If maybe you built the whole thing up bigger in your memory than it actually was for them. If maybe you're just someone who holds on too long that thinks that were never that serious to begin with. I want to gently take all of that away from you right now. Missing someone for a long time isn't a sign that you are stuck. It's a sign of that, real caring, okay? That makes you something real. And not everybody can understand that. Shallow water heats up fast and cools down fast. It reacts to everything and holds on to nothing. Deep water takes longer to warm and longer to cool, and it holds its temperature long after the surface has moved on to something else. You are deep water. You always have been. The people in your life who forget others quickly, who move from one connection to next without a backward glance. That's not strength, that's shallowness, and you were never built shallow. What you call still not over it is actually just what it feels like to love and remember as real that. That's not a flaw in you. That's the whole reason this person is worth missing in the first place. Now, what happened on their end because they didn't just vanish for no reason, and I don't want you thinking they were careless with what you had. Most of the time, when someone from the past pulls back like that, it isn't because what you had wasn't real. It's because it was too real, too soon, or it's arrived at a moment they weren't built yet to hold it properly. People leave good things all time, not because the good thing failed, but because they were scared of good thing that size, or they were carrying something of their own they hadn't dealt with yet, or life simply moved faster than their courage could keep up with. That's not an excuse for however it's played out. It's just the truth about why people retreat from things that matter. It's almost never because the thing was small. It's almost always because it was big. And they weren't ready for big yet. And here's what's been happening to them out there. That's the horizon. While you've been standing on the shore, think about what it actually causes a person to stay away from something that mattered to them for a long stretch of time. It isn't free. Stay away takes constant, quiet effort, a small decision made over and over, not to reach out, not to check in, not to say the thing they're thinking. That kind of effort doesn't feel like strength to the person doing it. It feels like exhaustion. And exhaustion eventually runs out. People don't usually announce when they're tired of holding a wall up. They just one day stop holding it and the wall comes down quietly, almost without them deciding to let it. Distance has a strange effect on people. It doesn't erase what matters, it clarifies it. Whatever noise, distraction, or fear pulled them away in the first place has had time to quiet down, and underneath the noise, the actually memory of you has stayed exactly where it was, untouched. The way things left alone tend to stay preserved instead of fading. They had ordinary days where your name come up out of nowhere in their own mind and they had to sit with it longer than they expected to. They compared quietly, maybe guiltily, whoever came after you to what they remember of you. And the comparison hasn't always gone the way they wanted it. Some nights, the space you used to fill in their life is made itself knowing by being empty. And there's no comfortable way to sit with an empty space you created yourself. That's not you imagining things. That's the tide out past the horizon, still pulled by the sun moon it's always been pulled by. Now, and this is important, look at what you were doing this whole time on your side of it because you weren't just standing on the beach waiting, you were living. You grew genuinely, not the fake Instagram caption kind of growth, the real kind, the kind that happens in ordinary Tuesday with nobody watching. You learn things about yourself that you couldn't have learned while you were still tangled up with them. You got steadier, calmer. You stopped needing constant reassurance the way you might have needed it back then. You built a life that isn't waiting on anyone. A life with its own shape, its own friendship, its own small joys that had nothing to do with this person at all. And that's exactly why this is happening now and not before. Tides don't come back in for an empty shoreline. They come back in for a shore that's still standing, still shaped, still exactly where it's always been. Just sturdier now, more itself, less scattered than it used to be. Think about what actually happens to a shoreline while the tide is out. Because it isn't idle time, that's the least piece of this I need you to have. The wind still moves across it. The sun still works on it. Small things wash up and get sorted through, kept or released. While nobody's watching, a shoreline left alone by the water doesn't fall apart. It settles. It finds its true edges. The ones the constant push and pull of water never let it discover on its own. That's what those months or years without them actually did for you. Whether you noticed it happening or not, you found edges you didn't know you had. You settled into a shape that's more accurately you than the shape you were pulled into when the water was constantly moving across you. But settling is not something you lose time to. That settling is the whole reason you're ready for what's coming back now in a way you weren't ready for it before. So here is your name, and it comes straight from the water. You are the shoreline, not the wave that chased anyone, not the current that went looking. The shoreline, this steady, unmoving place that everything eventually returns to because that is simply what shorelines are for. Tides don't return to open water. They return to the shape that's waiting for them. The place that held its ground the whole time the water was out. No tide in history has ever come back for a place that gave up and turned into something else entirely. It comes back for what it recognizes. You held your ground. Even on days it didn't felt like holding ground. Even on days it felt like drifting. You were still there. Still you. Still shaped the way you were always shaped. Just weathered a little in the way that makes a shoreline more beautiful, not less. And the timing because you wondering about the timing. Everyone always wonders about the timing. The tide doesn't announce itself far in advance. It doesn't send a calendar in white. It just starts moving quietly, and the water gets a little closer every day until one morning you look out and it's unmistakably coming in. Some of you are going to notice small things first. A message out of nowhere, a mutual friend mentioning them for no clear reason, a memory that surfaces uninvited and won't leave you alone for days. That's not coincidence. That's the water, closer than it was last week. So let's come back to where we started. To me, telling you your guardian angel sent me to that specific strange, certainly that someone is turning back toward you. You know now what that actually means. It was never a stranger's return. It was the return of a tide that never really left. Just went out far enough to make you doubt it, the way tides always do, right before they come all the way back in. So here is the only thing I'll ask of you. Stay where you are. Don't chase the water out to meet it. Shorelines don't chase, and chasing isn't your job. Don't harden into stone just to protect yourself from ever being disappointed by an ocean again. Just stay soft, stay static, stay exactly the shape you quietly become. Stay where you are. The tide is turning and is turning toward you.